My last video absolutely flopped. Just not the usual numbers that I usually expect, especially for a fight week video that about a card as stacked and as exciting as UFC 320. So I guess it just shows me I can't be dropping the fight week videos a little bit before fight week. It does a lot better when I do it during fight week. Because if there's any video that I get most excited about doing, it's about an actual fight week where we actually are having a card happening that weekend. So, but yeah, is what it is. I don't know how YouTube picks pushing videos or not, but anyways, this video is really just aimed at the UFC, and we're just ranting a little bit about how we need the UFC to already make some fights for some fighters, some high caliber fighters. I'm only talking about the highest quality fighters, really of just welterweight and lightweight, because that's where the majority is of the fighters that we just got to get to fight already. It's ridiculous. Like, why are these guys not booked for fights? All these guys have taken so much time off. That's the annoying thing about UFC, is that in this type of sport, I mean, obviously this is called fight. It's literally fighting, and you could take such an accumulative amount of damage, and there's an entire fight camp. I mean, it's the most you see a fighter fight is maybe 4 or 5 times a year, unless you're Kevin Holland or Merab Dvalishvili, super consistent. Obviously, fighters need a lot of recovery, a long time to rehab whatever injuries they take and damage they take during fights. But at a certain point, it's like, why are these guys sitting out for so long when they haven't fought in such a long time? They're in prime shape. They're wasting away their careers. They're in prime form. We should be getting these guys booked for fights already, and it's a little ridiculous that we have to wait and see all these guys only fight once a year just to then be put on the shelf again for months, when they could be on cards, making the UFC more exciting, more stacked, and keeping things moving along in divisions. That's really all I'm trying to talk about in this video. Like, why are these fighters not fighting already? Why do we not have them booked on fights? These guys can make cards better as main events, co-main events. Let's get these guys to fight already. And as I said, it's really just in the welterweight and lightweight division. So you really got to start with the lightweight division, and the most obvious case right here is, why the hell is Arman Tsarukyan not in a fight yet? Like, we haven't seen him since UFC 300 when he beat Charles Oliveira. That was what, last year, April of 2024? Yeah, not this past April, right? The year before that. So we haven't seen him fight. He was supposed to fight in January. That got cut short. So this guy's in the prime of his career, prime shape, one of the most ridiculous physiques any UFC has. Obviously super rich and super wealthy, but still picks the path of fighting. He's right there to getting his title shot versus not arguably, but the greatest lightweight of all time in Islam Makhachev. So let's just get Arman to fight already. Like, it's enough. Like, get this guy versus Paddy versus Gaethje. Paddy, I don't care at this point. I mean, I prefer Paddy or Hooker over Gaethje, because Gaethje's just, I don't even know. Gaethje's going to get destroyed by Arman Tsarukyan. But apparently Arman Tsarukyan's going to be fighting Dan Hooker, which was going to be the next guy on my list. Like, can we get Dan? Like, let's just get these guys to fight already. He's been healthy for mad long. We haven't seen Hooker since 305. And apparently these guys are going to fight in Qatar. So maybe I'll be biting my tongue very soon, because these two guys will be fighting in Qatar as the main event. I don't love that fight. I think Arman versus Paddy would be the next best fight to make, to really sift through there who could be next for Ilia Topuria. But I get it. Hooker and Arman have some history. They both just have had long layoffs. I'm just saying, though, these are top 6 ranked lightweights we're talking about here that could be fighting already. So let's just get these guys booked already. If we're going to do Tsarukyan versus Hooker, I think personally Tsarukyan destroys Hooker in that matchup. But so be it, because it's been ridiculous already how long Arman sat out. The amount of videos I've seen of him just pounding food, but not, like, he's doing these grappling matches on the side. I get that the UFC wants to make a point about him, but he's literally one of the best lightweights on the planet, one of your most talented, biggest potential lightweights that could be a future title challenger. Let's get him already in. And if you got to put him versus Hooker, let's put him versus Hooker. Paddy Pimblett, like, let's get Paddy Pimblett to fight already. I get it, he's fat, and that it takes a long time for him to drop weight in between fights. It's honestly crazy how this guy looks a week after a fight. He cuts down all that weight and he actually looks like in good shape, and then he just packs it all back on. Paddy the Fatty, as we like to chant. He fought, who did he fight? He fought Michael Chandler back at UFC 314 in Miami. We still, I guess, don't know how legitimate Paddy Pimblett is. Like, he kind of has only beaten the old heads, Tony Ferguson, King Green, most recently Michael Chandler, who sure is an exciting fighter, but Michael Chandler, what really has he proven? He has not aged well. He has a very like tit for tat records in the UFC. Michael Chandler, but he's exciting, I get it, but it's time to see Paddy fight someone for real that's going to test him in that prime shape. They might just jump him straight to Ilya because they want to take advantage of the moment. Him and Ilya faced off, but like Paddy Pimblett could be one of the biggest names, one of the biggest stars in the lightweight division. Even if he doesn't get a title ever, he's still just his personality, the way that he vibes off crowds with his theme song, his entrance, his antics, his personality. People love to imitate Paddy. He's right now like a big star in the lightweight division, I guess. And they might throw him Gaethje next. Gaethje apparently doesn't want to fight anyone but the title. They might just put Gaethje against Ilya. I don't even care about Gaethje, by the way, in this formula. I just don't think Gaethje's getting the title. So I don't care to see him, to push him to see him fight. He's going to have to, if he wants to win the Q, it's just if the UFC gives him Topuria, like I absolutely hate that fight. It would be such a waste. But if they then do that, then you got to do Paddy versus, well, no. I just said that Hooker and Arman are going to fight. I really just wish they would have done Paddy versus Arman. So yeah, in the lightweight division, it's like, why haven't we not gotten these guys to fight already? Why have we not gotten these guys to fight? These guys are all primed, all acted, like ready to go. So let's just get these guys to fight already. Next one, Shavkat Rakhmonov, right? We're shifting now to the welterweight division. Shavkat Rakhmonov, we have, like, this guy fights on average once a year. At one point is still considered probably the boogeyman of the welterweight division. He technically hasn't lost, but he lost a lot of steam, a lot of hype since his win versus Ian Gary at UFC 310. And even that was such a long wait to see him fight again after his fight with, was it Wonderboy Thompson or Jeff Neal? I know he beat both of them. I'm not sure what the timeline is here. Shavkat was looking like one of the scariest welterweights on the planet. 100% finish rate going into that Ian Gary fight. 17-0, undefeated. And sure, he went to decision. Not decision. What am I saying? Yeah, he did go to the decision with Ian Gary. He almost got finished in that last round. It was looking hairy, but he ended up staying with an undefeated record. Just now he has a little bit less of a 100% finish rate. Still undefeated. Kind of was battle-tested versus Ian Gary. But, yeah, Shavkat Rakhmonov is one of the most mysterious and, like, boogeyman type of fighters that could really be fighting for a title. And he had his shot twice. He could have fought at 310, but Bilal pulled out. Then the UFC wanted him to fight Bilal on UFC 315 in May. Then Shavkat had to pull out because of injury. So Jack Della Maddalena took his place. And now Shavkat has waited so long that he already probably has to fight someone else again to get another look at the title. Because Jack Della Maddalena is now fighting Islam in November. So this welterweight division is so stacked and so many things have moved since Shavkat has, and I get it. I think there was a story that like Shavkat's wife and kid like were involved in a car crash. I'm not sure the specifics. I know that's a lot. That's a whole different thing, whole different conversation that maybe he's dealing with a lot of personal issues. But even before that, just Shavkat, the injury, not being so active, like it's enough already. Like let's get Shavkat in. One of my closest friends, his favorite fighter is Shavkat, and he has to wait he only gets to watch Shavkat fight once a year because that's basically the frequency that Shavkat's been fighting. I would love to see Shavkat take on Sean Brady. I would love to see Shavkat take on Islam. I would love to see Shavkat maybe move up and take on Khamzat Chimaev one day. Like, these are all possibilities, and Shavkat is just, he has great, like, aura as a fighter. He's undefeated, so I really just, why can't we, like, let's get Shavkat Rakhmonov to fight already. It's already, then, like I just mentioned, Sean Brady, too. Like, Sean Brady's been ready to go. Apparently, he was offered Ian Gary at Vancouver. Ian Gary took too long to come back to the contract, so they ended up giving it to Fluffy Hernandez and De Ritter. Like Sean Brady is so talented. He's the number one, if I'm not mistaken, number two or number one welterweight contender. Just super dominant performance versus Leon Edwards in his last bout. Really just displayed a completely new level of skill from his side of things in terms of his pressure, his grappling, his groundwork. Like Sean Brady is so skilled and talented. Honestly, people might call his style boring. He's one of my favorite welterweights out right now, and I just want to see him fight already. Put him against Shavkat. Put him against Ian Gary. Make the Ian Gary fight already versus Sean Brady. That's really what I want to see, because Sean Brady, he's so good. Like, he's 16 or 17-1. He only lost to Bilal Muhammad, who ended up becoming a champion, and I think he could even beat Bilal Muhammad in a rematch. Like, I just think Sean Brady's that good and will definitely be fighting for a title at some point. So let's get Sean Brady to fight already. Ian Gary too. These are all welterweights. I'm like, let's just get these guys to fight already. And last but not least, I gotta say, let's get Kamaru Usman and Belal to fight. This is the next fight to make. Like, what is Kamaru Usman waiting around for? He's getting old. We waited so long after him fighting Khamzat Chimaev to finally get the courage to get back in there after recovering from bad knees. He went out there. He did masterclass on Joaquin Buckley. But, like, keep the momentum. Like, what are you waiting for? Why is there so much time being wasted? Belal, he said he was maybe ready to go in October or November. Like, let's get Belal Muhammad to fight already. Let's get these two to fight. This is the fight to make. A lot of beef. There was the talk about Belal saying that, like, Kamaru was getting ready to throw hands on the podcast. He started crying because Belal was throwing shots at Kamaru Usman. They never released the podcast. This is the next fight to make at welterweight with these two guys right here. This would be a perfect fight to put in the queue while Islam and Jack fight it out. You have Usman and Belal fight it out because Belal's coming off the title. Usman, I don't really think he deserves an immediate title shot right after just beating Joaquin Buckley after the 3-fight losing streak. If I'm not mistaken, right? He lost 3 in a row. So let's get these two guys to fight already. This is just what I'm trying to say. Is like all these fighters that I mentioned in this video are all within the top 7 of the world in their divisions. And these could all be exciting names that could bring up cards, bring up excitement in the UFC as we go into 2026 in the Paramount deal. Maybe the UFC is saving all these guys for the next quarter when 2026 starts. But I'm so sick and tired of like the sport of UFC. One of the most frustrating things about the UFC is having to wait so long to watch certain fighters fight. But I mean, that's how it works because fighters get damaged. It takes a long, really the UFC has to plan out cards right, to brand the cards and get the fighters promoted the right ways that they should. They need to be put on fight night cards and all this logistic stuff. But there still should be a way to like get these guys involved, to bring up cards and just stack them and make UFC so much more exciting. So yeah, that's all I'm trying to say in this video. Please let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, which fighters you want to see fight the most, and that the UFC should book already. And yeah, I'll see you guys until next time after UFC 320.